the let me fix the what do we say? So I think it's okay. I think it's okay. So welcome guys, this is another live. This is the 9th live of this YouTube channel. Again, my name is Vick Hason as usual, and today we are going to go live for approximately 20 minutes. Today we are not going to go live for a long duration. Okay. We're not going to take much time because I'm going also, as usual, to upload this video for other people to watch it, for those that missed the live. Okay? So don't mind again the spontaneous noises that may be coming in. We have company, but I'm sure you're getting me clearly. My sound is clear. All right, so today we have another interesting topic about age gaps in relationships. For those of us that are already in relationships, because majorly the audience are from the university and college, so mostly my audience are comrades. But okay, so most of them, they are not in relationships because, you know, they are in the moment whereby they now get things on how to engage themselves in a relationship, and only a few have already done that part. They have already engaged themselves to be in a relationship. So the audience that I'm talking to now, today, and in this episode are mostly, okay, let me just include all of you, for those that are already in relationships and those that are not in relationships. So everyone, it doesn't matter, maybe you are on your mid-20s, late 20s, maybe early 30s, you know, the topic will still be interesting because it is a relatable thing. Yeah, it is a relatable thing, and it's going to be interesting. It's going to be fun. We're going to have a lot of fun as we are discussing this topic of today. So I'm still waiting for some of you to join, and let us be on the same boat as we discuss this interesting topic today. Yeah. So again, if you're going to watch this episode later, thank you so much. If you're watching it right now, which is not live, you may just consider leaving your opinion there in the comment section, because again, whatever I'm going to talk about today in this topic, it is not like it's supposed to be like that. No, it is subjective to me. Yeah, it is only subjective to me. So I'll be glad, I'll be happy if also you share your opinions in the comment section, and we can engage, because it is a vice versa thing. You share your opinions, I share mine, and we have fun discussing things, because I'm not a pro. It is something that we as young people are going to experience in our lives, maybe now or maybe in some few years that are coming. And it will be amazing. It will be amazing if we are here and having the chat, you know. It will be amazing. So let me share the live. Let me share the live to a few guys. We are back. This is our live chat. Remember, if you're watching it right now, you might consider liking, subscribing, share, and most importantly, click that bell notification button so that next time when we are going live, you'll be notified as we are doing our live. Okay, so as usual, I don't want other people to maybe if they are going to watch this video later, to have those long waiting moments. Okay, so we can just kick off as people are going to join, and you know, catching us on the way as we are going to cover this topic of today. So I've said we're going live only for 20 minutes. Today I'm going to keep time. Okay, again, I have prepared my notes. I'm not just going to yap things here. So we are covered. We know what we are going to talk about. So mostly, the most important thing about age gaps is it is a topic that it is a very sensitive topic, because once people have engaged in a relationship and they're having that age gap that is not expected by so many people, they're going to have some problems in their relationships, whereby people are going to indulge their business in theirs. So thank you for the one that has joined. Thank you. Welcome. Just say hi. I get to see who is it, and then we continue. So if people get to know that there's a huge, mostly if there is a huge age gap in your relationships, then it means people are going to talk about your relationship. So it is normally like this. If the age gap in your relationship is let me say is 1 to 3 years old, maybe the lady is 3 years ahead of the guy, or maybe the guy is 1 to 3 years ahead of the lady, then there's no problem, because that is the normal age that most of our parents are into, and it is a normal age, like it is expected by many. And it is an error that it is there. I think it is there for a purpose, because maybe you may have a crush on someone, maybe you loved someone, but you didn't know the age of that person. So something that will make you two be together, it will be that 1 to 3 years age gap. That is the most important thing, so that you know the person that you're dating, maybe you're not dating a minor. So I think that is the most important thing. But if you find your age gap is more than 5 years old, no, sorry, it is more than 5 years of age, or maybe 10 years, then that's where the problem starts to get into. That's where the problem gets into a relationship, because it is not the expected age that most people are expecting for people to be in a relationship with that huge age gap. So I've done some research here, and I'm going to share with you the chances of two guys, to end up in a divorce because of their age gap. So the key things here in age gaps, first of all, we have the first part here is the sweet spot. So the sweet spot is the common one, whereby people are get into relationships, and their age gap is 1 to 3 years old. 2 3 years. Okay, don't mind my English is bad. So their age gap is 1 to 3 years. So often they are considered to be most stable as partners, and usually in similar life stages. So they share almost similar things. The stage that they are in at that moment, it is right for them, because they're going to share similar things. Simple like that. The sweet spot age, the sweet spot age for people to be in a relationship is 1 to 3 years, because they are in the same stage of life. They're going to share similar things in their life. So they're going to be okay. That is what most of us consider that type of a relationship to be. Another key aspect in age gaps is larger gaps, which is 5-year gap, and mostly it is associated with 18% higher chance of divorce, while a 10-year gap increases the likelihood of 39% chance of getting a divorce. So maybe if you and your partner, you have an age gap that is 5 years, a 5-year age gap, chances of you getting a divorce is 18% and higher. And if you have a 10 years age gap, chances of you to get a divorce is 39%, as it continues like that. So later we're going to check also if that is true, because there are some people here out here, mostly of them that are celebrities, they have huge age gaps in their relationships, but they have not done any divorce, and there is no any chance of them to end up in a divorce. So let's go to the next one. Life stages. So the biggest challenge in large age gaps is often being in different life stages, which can create friction. So that is the main challenge there. So if your relationship has huge huge age gap, high chances of you are going to be in a friction. You're going to have friction because first first of all, there'll be difference. Your careers will enter into the way. Your stages of life that you are at that moment, they are going to be different. Another thing is retirement plan. One of you is going to retire early than the other one. Another thing is getting children. So if we have huge age gaps, getting a child can be a problem, because maybe you date a lady, maybe that is twice of your age, you as a gentleman or as a man. Chances of you getting a child can be so minimal, can be little, because the lady will be much older in such a way that she will not be able to, to look after the child well as it is expected by the society. And maybe the chances of that lady to get a child, it may become a problem. Yeah, because normally if a man is older compared to the lady, the man getting a child is not a problem, because it is said any man can get a child at any specific age. Even at 70 at 70 years, a man can still get a good child. But if a lady crosses 45 or 50, the chances of that lady getting a normal child with everything being normal, it is so minimal, it is so little. Yes. So let's check at the celebrities. The celebrities that have done it, the celebrities that are engaged, they are in a relationship, and they have very huge age gaps. The first one is Jay-Z and Beyonce. I'm going to use only international celebrities because for you to be familiar with. So Jay-Z and Beyonce. So Jay-Z and Beyonce, they have a 12-year age gap, and they first met when uh, Beyonce was 18 years old and Jay-Z was 30 years old. Can you imagine? Beyonce has just turned to be now a responsible adult, that is now she's allowed to have a license, driving license. She's allowed now to be responsible for herself. But Jay-Z, at that time, Jay-Z was he was done with, okay, I don't know where the youth age is supposed to end at, but Jay-Z has already spent his youths, because he was 30 at the time he was meeting Beyonce. But that is not the thing that we're going to talk about here. The thing is their marriage still working? And the answer is yes. They are still in their relationship, and is everything is okay. So there is no problem, and there is no any chance that it has been seen that they're going to end up in a divorce, or maybe they're going to part ways, because they even already have children. So that is an evidence that age huge age gap is not a problem, because whatever that we have covered here, it says that for those that have 5 years age gap, the chances of them ending up in a divorce is 18%. And those that they have a huge age gap of 10 years, the chances of them ending up in a divorce is 39%. But the Jay-Z and Beyonce, their age gap is 12 years, and there is no any chance of them ending up in a divorce. At least we have not seen, nobody has seen. So that is a proof. Again, another example that we're going to use here is Priyanka Chopra and Nick Jonas, from the Jonas Brothers. So in this in their relationship, they have a 10-year age gap. 10 years age gap. So compared to the Jay-Z's and Beyonce's one, they had 12-year age gap. But in Nick Jonas and Priyanka Chopra, they have 10-year age gap. So Priyanka Chopra is older than Nick Jonas. So the first time they met in 2016, whereby Priyanka was 34 years old and Jonas was 24 years old. So so many instances whereby you'll find someone to be older than the other person, it will be mostly it's supposed to be gents, the men that are supposed to be older than the lady. But in this case here, Priyanka Chopra is older than Nick Jonas. So, and they are in their relationship, they already have children, and everything is working out for them. So far, we have not seen any chances of them ending up in in divorce or there's no any chance of them parting ways. So that is an evidence that it works, because right now Priyanka Chopra is so they met at 2016 when Priyanka Chopra was 34 years old. So right now we are in 2026. So that is 10 years from that time. So add 10 years to 34, that is 44. And adding 10 years to Nick Jonas' age, that will be 34. So you see, 10 years in marriage, being engaged. So that is an evidence that age gap is really not a thing. So in that relationship, Priyanka Chopra is the cougar. They normally call a lady cougar when she's older than the man that she is engaged with. Yeah, and that is what we were supposed to talk about today. I was expecting you guys to engage. So if you have any kind of opinion, any kind of something that just popped up in your mind, you can just share it in the comment section. And let's engage. Let's have a chat. Let's also hear from your side what is in your thoughts. What are you thinking about today's topic, the age gap in relationships? Yeah. So again, it depends. It really depends. So it can be like this. So nowadays, people getting engaged, it really doesn't depend on the age factor. What it depends on, it is the values. If the lady or the guy is attracted to the values of the partner that he wants to be with, again, the qualities that someone is looking for to be in someone, I think that is what matters. Age is not a thing, I think, right now, as so far as I think right now. Yeah. So someone can get engaged or to be in a relationship with someone that is the age gap is more than 5 years. And mostly the one that we see is 1 to 3 years age gap. That is the age that most people find themselves to have the age gap in a relationship. So according to me, my opinion is, so for me, the correct or the age gap that I prefer to have in my relationship, to someone that I will engage, will marry, I hope if the qualities are met, maybe the values that I'm looking for in someone, I think it will be okay. Maybe if the age gap is okay. So lately I've been preferring to have an age gap of 1 to 3 years. But again, you can't really say that you've blocked it at that box like that. So maybe I can give myself maybe a space at least. So maybe I can say I can date someone that is, we have an age gap of maybe 5 years maximum. But you never know. You never know who you fall in love with. Yeah, you really never know. Because if you fall in love with someone that you two are almost age mates, it on the research here it says that the chances of you ending up together to live happily ever after, the chances are good, like it is supposed to be like that. But if your age gap is a little huge, is big, the chances of you two ending up to be in that relationship, they are less. So if you have an age gap of 5 years, 18% of chances you're going to end up in a divorce. But and again, if you find yourself in a relationship whereby the age gap is 10 years, the chances of you to end up in a divorce is 39%. Yeah, that is all for today. So that is all about age gaps. That is all about age gaps that I was talking. I wanted to talk to you guys today. Sorry about my English. My English is so bad. It's so bad. The language that most of the time that I use is Swahili. So English, I normally speak English when it is a formal, in a formal occasion, or maybe if I want, you know, my message to get to a wider audience, then I will use English. Yeah, and that's all for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. I'm going to end the live right now. For the one that is still joining, thank you so much. You can just, this is YouTube. You can just scroll and then see what we have talked about. Yes, again, don't mind to subscribe, like, comment, share. Don't miss the next live, another topic, and I'll be happy to see you in the next live video. Thank you so much for watching. I'm going to end the live right now. So, bye.